We got Dee Dee West, DeAndrea West. What's going on, Queen? How you feeling today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, you know I'm feeling like I'm feeling.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
feeling like I'm feeling, and I'm feeling great, man. Glad to be amongst the living. Miss West, what is it about music? What is music to you? What is your
Um,
background in music?
what is my who? Background in
What is your
music?
background in music?
Okay, so I have been around music all my life. Grew up in the church. So all know musicians or singers who've been in the church. We've basically done it our life. My family has a big background in music. My mom, she's the worship leader. My dad, he's the one who's always played the music, played the piano, drums, and stuff like that. So music has been a part of my life all my life. Literally can't think of a time where music has not been a part of my life. So I really think like music it's a universal language, like you were saying before. Like it's something that transcends like all cultures, all language. There is no boundaries when it comes to music.
Right.
So yeah, it's really a part of who I am.
Okay. Okay. So, right. Would you agree with the statement that that music reflects cultural, it shows cultural identities?
Yes. Yes, I did. Like, if you go to different parts of the world and you listen to the different music, you definitely can see, um, depending on where you are, like what kind of music, what they're saying in the music, the messages they're saying in the music and stuff like that. It's definitely reflected in the music. Yeah, the cultures.
Okay. Do you think that music influences cultural norms?
Yes, yes, I do. I do. I guess the most common thing you can think about, I would say, like in the Black culture, I really can. I can, I'm not gonna say I can only speak on that, but it's the one that's most,
Uh,
close to us. It's something that
No,
we.
yeah, you're right. It's you. It's us. We
Yeah,
have, a lot of us don't want to speak on our culture because we don't want to be attached to any type of stereotype. But
yeah,
we have the right to speak on our culture because we are
yeah,
of that culture. And
yeah.
however
So
we feel is how we feel.
right, and so like as time, you can definitely see the changing of our culture as time has progressed. You can see
Hmm.
it in the music, and you can see it in just day to day as we're living in the actual culture. I'm pretty sure you can see the evolution of when you were growing up and stuff, and the things that you would hear and stuff, and the things that was normally or normalized in the culture and what everyone used to do, and then the things that we hear in the music now and what's actually normalized in the culture and what we see in today's society and stuff. And so like I personally believe it has gotten worse. um it has gotten worse, in the sense that as far as just, I feel like self-respect, self-pride, and stuff like that. I feel like the bar has been set very low, and that's like on all fronts, not just culturally but also musically. Um the the complexity of music is so simple now. The lyrics, the words, the beats, the music in itself, most of the time is it's acceptable with just like a fire beat, like boom boom boom. That's nothing. There's no complexity. There's nothing complex about it. And so yeah, it's just kind of been dumbed down, and anything and everything is accepted nowadays. And as a music head or someone who's well versed in music, but I will say that there
Uh-huh.
are a lot of musicians and a lot of people who are out here making really good music, but it's not mainstream because the whoever higher powers or whatever it is not allowing it to be mainstream or whatever. So
Okay. The way that music impacts an environment is it's astounding, really.
Yes.
because a situation can be completely diffused simply off of a collective group of sounds.
Hmm. Like, I know that there have been a lot of people who will even say this to the day. Like, it hasn't been studied or anything, but like, Nuck if you buck, they be like,
Right.
"Oh man, when you hit it in the club, everybody be like, Nut, you mess
Get
around
close.
and fight, you be like,
You getting
um,
close.
yeah, and it really all goes to like down to the frequency and wavelengths. Like,
Exactly.
there are a lot of people who say that I don't know if it's actually true, but there have been studies where people have said like if you could play certain things backwards or something like that, like
Hear a different
it'll
sound.
have hidden messages, or the difference between playing certain types of music with flowers. Literally, it would some of it will kill a flower, and some uplifting music or musics that are
Right.
have more
All about
positive
that.
literally
Exactly.
help a flower live. So it really it has a lot of impact, and a lot of people, they don't think that way. They
No.
just think, oh, it's just a beat, oh, it's just something I'm listening to, but you
Mm.
don't even realize it. I mean, it could even affect your health.
Right.
Not
Right.
alone your mind, like the way
Right.
that your mind is thinking, the way that because all of those things that we're listening to is, whether you know it or not, it's saying a message.
Right.
It's either telling you to do, whether you realize or not, or whether you want to admit it or not, you are
What you
agreeing.
ingest. You are what
Whatever,
you ingest.
yeah, like whatever you're saying, you're agreeing with it. Your mind is, because it's not like your mind can comprehend between, um,
Mhm. The between.
oh, this is something that I'm not agreeing with. I'm just listening to. No, no, your mind is just taking it all in,
Yeah,
and your
yeah.
mind,
These are my thoughts.
yeah, and it's becoming who you are.
Talk
And
about
so
it. Talk about
this
it, Queen, because I left home for my side piece. Uh-oh, wait a minute, there's somebody else's lyrics, ain't it? My bad. I mean, get off that man's lyrics. But, he's
yeah,
speaking on things that individuals have done. I mean, there are
yeah,
individuals that have done that. That frequency is alive, but as you stated, individuals who ingest that need to understand, you said you're inviting that into your life
yes,
by
yes.
harmonizing and vibing with that vibration.
Mm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I got a question for you, right? How
Uh-huh.
does music evoke emotions in listeners? You
Oh,
s
good
you
question.
you hinted on it with the "Nuck if you buck," so I wanna kinda go a little bit deeper into it, if you could expound upon it a little bit more.
Okay. Um, I guess. Well, I have another example, if
Okay.
you would humor me.
I
So say for instance, if I am in a down mood,
okay.
maybe I'm not having a great day, maybe things are not going my way. I can either do one or two things. I can listen to a song that is more so have me in the same mentality of victimizing, or like it's all about me. Oh, woe is me, like this, I'm having such a bad day, life is bad, life is
Yeah,
never going to get better, and I
okay.
can stay in that move, and it can even pull me
Further.
way, yeah, like further down.
Yeah.
Or I could get and put on some music that's going to remind me of where I'm going, that this is
Fact,
not where I'm going to stay, that
fact,
life is much bigger than this one moment, that my
fact.
life is not over, that my life, like that there is better ahead. And then that kind of pulls my mind from focusing on this one day to focusing
Mhm.
on there is more ahead, and there is,
Exactly.
better for me. And so I
And
think the it music has a way and can
mhm.
influence it, like any emotion. It can either help you or it can hurt you.
Right, right. So, what is the common denominator in that statement that you just made? You,
What is the
me, that
yeah,
individual, that person.
yeah,
You are in control.
yeah,
On you. You determine if you wanna be a victim.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and individuals, I feel that individuals are aware of the energy in which they're releasing, and
mm-hmm,
in some cases, you have some people that just always want to be the victim. No
mm-hmm,
matter what it is, it happened because somebody else did something else.
yeah. Yeah,
They
and
they
some
they
people, and a lot of people will say, like, especially in culture, there are certain artists that talks about heartbreak, or that talks I think they say Summer Walker. Summer Walker is one of the ones who always talks about heartbreak, or like men not being good or something like that. And so I've seen people be like, or I've seen posts where they're like, if you hear Summer Walker, go ahead and walk up out that door, because you about to get some fire, or like you're gonna receive some type of energy.
You already there. You
Energy,
go. You already the energy in the room is set, bro. Don't
right?
even go up
Just
there.
because she's been listening to, so you can say one wrong thing. What you mean? Da da da.
Exactly.
So
Uh huh.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
She ready to fire off, and all you asked was, "How was your day?" Damn.
yeah, yeah,
Fuck you mean? How was my day?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
But
you like.
yeah, so all of that, yeah.
So tell me, how has your understanding of music evolved over time? Since, like you pointed out, like from when we back in the earlier days of listening to music to now, how has your understanding of it evolved?
Um, as I've grown older and expanded my knowledge and range of music. Like I said, I have been a church girl through and through. So I was raised up on church music. So when I was growing up, couldn't listen to nothing but church music for real. Until I was like, in middle school and high school. And really the only way that I was exposed to other genres of music was because I was in chorus and band. And
Uh,
so like when you play, different stuff. And so but as I grew older, I went to school, and I studied music education and vocal performance. So then my range was broadened into the classical and jazz, and just all these other different genres. And then as I got older and started actually performing and like doing weddings and stuff, and then it kind of expanded into like R&B. Like I don't even consider myself an R&B head,
uh-huh.
because I really like, I know R&B because I have to perform it, but I'm not like, some people, they some diehard R&B,
Yeah.
like that's what they was raised up on. You know what I'm saying? Like how I was raised up on gospel. Some people like are raised up on R&B, those old head songs, the Luther Vandross and
Come on
Mary
with it.
J, and you know
Come
what I'm
on with it.
saying?
Come
Huh?
on with it. Going back a little bit. Throw in the OJs. Throw in the Jim
Yeah,
Ivory brothers. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Throw in the
yeah. And so
Commodores. Put them guys
I,
on up in there.
yeah, yeah. And so as my palette has you know diversified,
Uh-huh.
um I it's made me more appreciative of all of the things that music has to offer.
Right.
From and a lot of people, and I really believe that we sometimes we put a race
Mm,
on a lot of these different genres and stuff. And
right.
if you and one of the things that surprised me the most, a lot of people think that classical music is just the white man's,
Right. Yeah.
but
Right.
if they really understood and knew that the African American race contributed a lot
Right.
to that genre and stuff like that. And so like it's just I appreciate
Mhm.
every genre and every aspect of music. Like I appreciate it. And most of the time, if you diversify your palette, you'll actually realize that a lot of people are borrowing a lot of
Right.
things from
Right.
else. And because people don't hear and listen, they don't even understand, oh, this song over here actually came from over here.
Yes,
And this
man.
song over here actually came from, like,
Over.
they're
Yep.
sampling and doing all these things, but because a lot of people don't know, they're like, oh man, he made that hit. No, actually, John back in the day made that hit, and they just,
Mhm. They
know,
just someone else in the mainstream finally heard it. Because
yeah,
there is so much music out there that there is no possibility to listen to all of it in a
yeah,
lifetime.
yeah, yeah.
You will never we would never hear all of the music that has been created in the world today.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And so like it just made me more appreciative and of all of it in its respective places.
Mhm. Okay.
I appreciate it. I appreciate all music, and it's also challenged me to not um place my palette in a box, you know.
Right.
I make it my business to listen to different music, and
Mhm.
like, because also as a musician myself and as a singer, it also heightens my ability and
Right.
my talent, you know, as a singer,
Right.
and like to be able to sing anything, like
Uh-huh.
from classical to jazz to gospel to R&B to pop to country, like to be able to do all of it, and it allows you to, and I really would say like gospel allows you to be able to sing
And in several different ranges and several different
everywhere. And I feel
formats.
like gospel and classical. If you I feel like if you learn how to sing gospel and if you learn how to sing classical, you can say anything else. That's what I from my experience. Like
Mhm.
just having that foundation, there is nothing that you can put in front of a classical or gospel singer.
That
And I'm saying with both. I'm gonna say with both. To
okay.
have both together, I don't think there's nothing. I don't
Like,
think so.
I mean, you could jazz it up, you can yeah, there are so many because I mean
Like even musical theater, like
right,
that, because I do musical theater as well, and to be able to blend both, because of course, um, musical theater is very belty, right? I'm
okay.
going all in. I'm going. I'm listen. I'm
Yeah,
going.
I'm
Okay,
going from the bottom
musical
of the
theater is
diagram.
like a belty, but there also has to be some type of classical training to be able to do both, because you have multiple shows. And if you're singing all the way, like just screaming all the time, you're not going to be able to, the longevity gone. You're not going to be able to do
Right,
all those shows back to back.
exactly.
So there has to be a mix of both. So to be able to have like that mixed belty that comes from the gospel, but then also knowing how to do it healthily that comes from the classical. You, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
anything, anything, anything. It's crazy, but yeah.
Okay, so do you have, like, any specific rituals or moments where, you have to do this before you perform or before you get ready to sing? You have to have I need my tea, I need my tea with honey and
Yeah.
lemon and, you know
Every singer has to have one, because if you don't, you're gonna mess yourself up. So for me, number one of the things I try to do, number one, all singers has to stay hydrated. Listen, you got to drink your water. Yes. You have to drink your water. Your water is the number one thing that is going to help you and help your voice to stay hydrated. Number two, which is something that I recently, like in the last like 5 years, started doing, is I'm a vocal mist of or a steamer. Okay.
Okay.
This is something that directly hydrates your vocal cords. When you drink water, okay, the
Mhm.
water doesn't hit your vocal cords immediately. It takes about
Right.
28 hours for you, I mean 48 hours for you to even receive that hydration, because the water, if the water hit your vocal cords immediately, you would choke and die. Okay. So so
You're right.
the vocal mist, it is literally hitting your vocal cords. The moisture is hitting your vocal cords immediately.
Come on.
Your vocal cords are hydrated.
Uh,
It causes for like just to be smooth, right? It causes
okay.
for all the phlegm and stuff. That's not a thing. So cracking or
Mhm.
all that stuff is slim to none.
Right.
Number three. Okay. So I'll do that. I'll do that probably like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And then you do your vocal warm up, okay, vocal regimen. You can
Mhm.
you can do it on YouTube, or if you have your own from your vocal teacher or whatever it is on your phone, you just go sing along with it. Okay. Make sure you get your high notes, your low notes in between, all that stuff. Once you
Mhm.
do that, most of depending on how much every time you got or whatever it is, you go for your show or whatever it is. Most of the time, some people have to put on their makeup or whatever it is, and they
Mhm.
hum or whatever it is. But most of the time, they probably don't sing anything or whatever it is. Put on their makeup, or whatever it is, and then they do their last, and then
Yep. Yep. That A-E-I-O-U, ah, yeah, yeah, get your
yeah,
motor turning and going in the proper direction and tuned into what needs to be released right now.
Yeah. And then a lot of people miss this part, but after the vocal warm down is just as important, because if you have multiple shows or always singing or whatever it is, it helps with
Mhm.
recovery.
Right.
Because if you're singing a lot or whatever it is, the next time your vocal cords can get swollen or
Mhm.
dry, depending
Right.
on you know. And so one thing I try to do is to bring the larynx down. If I've been singing high or whatever it is, do vocal warm down and then do vocal mist again for 15 to 30 minutes. And usually that next day you'll be a-okay. Sometimes you can wake up and be about the same if you do all that. Like for real.
Yeah, yeah, that's a that is a routine there, love. That
Yes.
that is a routine, and I mean, poet ain't really a good singer because hey, what I got is what I get. What I'm thinking about, oh shit, I
Yeah,
want to sing. I'm gonna sing it like this, and if it come out, it come out.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, and
yeah.
can you discuss the relationship between music and memory? How does music help you remember certain events or periods in your life?
Music definitely. I think there are a lot of people who can think about that as far as maybe I remember when I was a child and my great grandmother passed away. And I remember the specific song that was playing when we was riding away from the funeral in the car. Like I remember that song distinctly. It was a Dunny McClurkin song,
Mhm.
right? And so there are certain moments that music can literally define something. I mean, even in happy moments like weddings,
Yeah. Right.
everyone knows their
Right.
wedding song. Everyone probably knows the song that maybe you were on your first date and there was a song that was playing. A lot of people have those memories. There are times when maybe you're riding in the car and maybe you're having a hard time,
Mhm.
like maybe this song helped you put, like we were talking about helping you pull out. Maybe there's a song that resonates with you that has always been the song that helps to switch your perspective, or
Right.
something like
Right.
that. So I think that in that aspect, music, I mean, it can attach itself to anything.
Okay.
Happy, sad,
Yeah.
mad, angry. Like it can attach itself to any emotion at any given time. And on another way or flip side of music and memory, there have actually been studies to where um dementia, Alzheimer's patients, um
Right.
they literally can't remember anything else, but they can remember songs. And I know personally myself, my great grandmother, she had dementia and Alzheimer's, and she couldn't form sentences, couldn't remember people's names. It was like she was almost literally like a baby. It
Mhm.
was, had went that bad. But when a song came on or we would sing a certain song, she would be able to sing it word for word.
Mhm.
And there's actually studies of, Alzheimer patients and dementia patients or whatever it is, like where music can help them, remember, or where they have been able to remember those things. So music is so powerful.
It is.
And
It is.
people who miss that or don't even see, because a lot of people know it and a lot of people in higher powers know it, and that's why there are so many people who are over music that people don't even see, or how they are using it to
Right.
like keep our
Right.
minds
Yeah,
in the same
exactly. Exactly.
cycle, and how like it's crazy. And people
Yes.
always want to say, man, it's just music or da da da. You don't know.
You don't really understand what you ingesting.
You
The Pied
don't
Piper was really a powerful person, and they don't truly a lot of us don't understand
know.
exactly what we ingest when we allow certain sounds and words to
Yes.
resonate within our being.
Yeah. It yeah. Yeah. Don't get me started. Don't get no, it's so true. And I hate that a lot of people overlook it.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there are people that are um waking up to it. I
Yeah,
do believe that. I think
yeah,
that
yeah. There are a lot.
yeah, and but of course it's the younger generation, and it's the same way every generation. When you're younger, you're just so caught up in, you're like, that's too deep. Y'all just thinking too deep. It's not that
Mhm.
deep.
It's
You
not
know,
at all.
just you
That's
know,
but if you really okay, so if you really think about it, the only way it's deep is if you say it's deep because again, you control you. It's on the
hmm
level in which you process it. You can have
yeah,
we can have a conversation and it can seem surface level to some and to somebody else it could be like, "Oh, bro, I never even thought about thinking that way."
yeah,
I couldn't believe that there is someone that thinks that way, that could see or paint that picture the way it was painted by the way that you presented that word, that piece or that
hmm
song.
yeah.
So, do you how do you think technology has changed the way we create, share, and consume music today?
Shout out to all the artists out there. Shout out to y'all because they is taking they
Hmm.
money. Okay. It's ridiculous. Like, the people who are um signing up under labels and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the tours, the streaming, like people are streaming the stuff, and they have contracts. I think for Apple and stuff, like it's like 1 cent per stream or 3 cents, something like that.
If that, man, I'm trying to tell you,
Yeah,
I'm out
it's
there in that world and I'm getting them pennies on it that I should be getting dollars on, but it's all good because you
yeah,
know,
it's
you know,
it's 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 bad.
it is.
But I think also, in the same retrospect, technology has helped itself. Like, technology hurted itself, and then and now I just made up a word, hurted.
Yeah, you did then. You did
Technology
then.
hurted itself, but then
Yeah, it
it
hurted itself.
helped itself.
Then it helped it
It
itself.
helped
Yep,
itself because of social media. Because
yep.
now you're able, with the trending songs and stuff like this, like the trending sounds and stuff, they can make a bunch of money off
Right,
of just putting it on here, getting it out there on social media and stuff. People sharing it, doing TikTok dances or Instagram dances and all this
right,
stuff. Like, with them doing that, they're able to, like, Money Long didn't have it. Like, her songs were nowhere at first. It went on TikTok, everybody started doing it, and then it was on the radio. Then she
yep,
was on BET, and then and there are
yep.
many artists and many stories of people who are able to do that. And so I think it's kind of like, in the aspect that um they kind of took away the possible stream of income, and then technology kind of added another avenue at the same way. Do I still think it's not fair? No, but one thing about artists and creative, we will find a way.
Right. I mean, but that's that. I
So,
mean, you can narrow come all the way down to just the being. The
yeah,
being. If it's something that being or that person wants to do, they gonna find a way to make it
yeah,
happen.
yeah,
It's gonna
yeah,
happen if they want it. No matter
yeah,
what, no matter how much you're deterred or someone else tells you, "No, no, you might not want to,
yeah.
don't do this, don't that." If they wanna do it, they are
They're
gonna
gonna
do
do
it,
it.
and they're not
Yeah.
gonna understand it until they experience it. You can
Mm-hmm.
sit down and you can tell an individual, "This gonna happen if you do this," but you really don't know what you can't predict the future. We
Yeah,
have ideas and thoughts of what could happen because this is how it went for us.
yeah,
Right. Because they're coming at a different time, doing it a different way. It could work.
hmm, yeah,
But that you give them that lesson that you learned. You share
mm-hmm,
with them that possibility. So now you take this data that I gave you and apply it to whatever it is that you're about to do. So you don't make those same mistakes that I made. That
yeah.
is how we learn from listening. And it's a difference between hearing, listening, and feeling.
Yeah. And yeah, so I think technology and social media is really, I personally believe, if you are an artist who wants the dollar for
Mhm.
yourself, and not having to share the dollar with
Mhm.
everyone else, I definitely think pit, really honing in on the social media. That is the best thing for
Right.
especially independent artists, right?
Yep,
Like
it's
that's the best thing.
advertising.
Now,
That's the best
is it hard
marketing.
work? Yes. Do you have to be consistent? Yes. Do you have to be fervent? Yes. Do you have to be like relentless?
Yes,
Yes. Are you
it
going to
will.
be tired of doing it? Are you going to be tired of promoting yourself? Yes.
Yes.
But will it pay off? Yes.
Yes. But if
So,
you don't promote yourself, ain't nobody else gonna believe in it. Nobody's gonna buy in if you don't promote.
yes. So technology is definitely a big, big, big thing for artists and music and all of it. Like,
Okay. So, what importance do you place on collaboration in music creation? And can you
oh,
give examples of impactful collaborations that you've had?
listen, collaboration, work together. Yes, especially like in the just what how we were talking about with social media. There are a lot of platforms that are collaborating to make, first off, it widens your audience. It widens who gets a chance to see your music. Because if I'm an artist and I have a certain, um
You have a vibration. Yeah,
yeah, a
you have a
certain,
vibration and you have a following. You have individuals that's already vibing with
and
you. And
then when we come together and we make a song that both of our art audience will like, we just combine something that now both of our audience can literally
uh,
combine and clash and mesh and mash. And now both of us have a wider audience to attend to.
mhm.
So yeah, so I think in that aspect, like collaboration is very important, even when it comes down to if you're in a production, a musical theater production, or if you're doing band or gospel choir or anything, music and collaboration, like it is one of the most powerful things and the most um impactful things. I think as you can, as a as much as a person can do by themselves, they can do just as much if they had multiple people to do it with. Like Michael Jackson and when they did the song "We Are the World, We Are the
Ah,
Children, We Are the One," and da 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 da. He could have did that song by himself. He
true.
could have.
He could have, but
But
because of all of those different energies that he brought in, it made that song that much more impactful. You touched several different cultures with the words of a track.
and
And
he definitely could have had it all by himself. It's Michael Jackson.
exactly.
But what made it what made it so impactful and still legit to the day, collaboration. So
Exactly.
I mean, I think it's very important, and it's very like it's yeah, it's
It's
I really can go on a
yeah, I
soapbox.
know. I know, cause Imma go let how is, in your opinion, this is up your I know this is right up your alley because this is what you do.
Uh-huh.
How important is music education in schools, and what benefit do you feel it provides to the students? So, I want you to go on your tangent. Let them know how you feel.
Listen, I have seen some of the most shyest kids come into a room, you know, dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression, dealing with a lot of things, especially in middle school. Let's just talk about middle school in itself. Middle school is a time where, in majority schools, that's where they introduce like beginner band and beginner chorus. And I've had students come in like, oh, I don't like to sing by myself. Oh, I'm shy. Oh, I've had parents come to me like she deals with anxiety. She's very shy. Like, if she don't sing, just, be patient with her or whatever it is. And by the time the 3 years are over, they found community within the place. They have found their identity, like who they are. Like they're flourishing into like leadership roles that their parents like, oh my gosh, like I never thought that they would be this type of person, and here they are like in chorus, like leading rehearsals, or being able to read music, or you
Right.
know what I'm saying, like it opens so many different doors to a lot of students that they didn't even know that they could do, or that the doors were open to them. So it's kind of it's music education is so important to the kids and their well-being holistically. Even if a kid is not good at music, or something that they don't want to do for the rest of their lives, there are fundamental principles, foundational principles, and foundational things that are taught in music that can't be taught everywhere else. When you're in chorus and band, you're taught how to work together.
Unity.
How it takes more than it's more than just you. Like you
Yes.
can try to sing loud and all
Right.
obnoxious and stuff, but you're literally hurting rather than
Mhm.
helping, because it's
Exactly.
not about you. It's about so it teaches like teamwork. You
Yeah,
have
exactly.
leadership opportunities. It's teaching how to be persistent, working on something every day in chorus and band. There we have these routines. Okay, you come in, you sit down, we do our stretches, we do our warm-ups, we
Do
work
our
on our
skills.
music. Yeah, we do our stuff, and then look, we do sight reading, we work on our music, and then that's it. That is something we do every single day. It's teaching routine, not just to
All
do
it
something
is.
repeatedly every single day, but because when we have our performances and stuff, there's this, wow, I worked hard, I was consistent at a thing, and it got me the results that I need. Okay, let's do this again. And it's those foundational principles that a lot of kids and adults are lacking now. But
Yeah.
you really can tell the difference between those kids who were, it's sad to say, that were in activities like that, and people who were not.
True. True. You
They're
can.
like even academically, you can
Hmm.
tell the difference between students who are in band and chorus and stuff, and students who are not. And even like football, you can say that as well. Football or basketball or anything, any type of sport that, or any type of activity that has discipline and routines, and keeping a kid building those foundational things, like you can see it.
You can. You can. And so, what, like, going and taking this into the direction in which we're heading, what
Mhm.
trends do you see shaping the future of music? And what do you think how do you think music will evolve in the next decade?
I think it's dependent upon us, to be honest. I do. I think it it is dependent upon how music education or these things are pushed in the schools. If you notice, majority of the people who are famous, they'll tell you they were in chorus, or they went to school for music, or you know what I'm saying? The ones that have good music out there, emphasis on good music. No,
If
seriously. Like if
if
you like, look at Lizzo.
yeah,
Lizzo plays flute. She did that. She was in the band or whatever it is. You have Chance the Rapper. You have Taylor Swift. You have all these people who were in chorus or band, or was in some type of foundation thing, or when they
right.
went to college they did, music and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that it's a requirement. I'm not saying that at all. You don't
Yeah,
have to be in
it's
that
not,
to be
but
successful.
it's
But
it's
it influenced the quality,
it
the
improves the
quality,
quality of what you put out, what you produce.
and that's why I think it is important for it. I say it depends,
Mhm.
because if we're not pushing or instilling some type of quality then there will be no quality.
Right.
If we're not pushing for it. And so that's why I say it really just depends. And that's why I advocate, for music education. I do advocate it. Is it hard? Yes, it's hard, but it's and the COVID impacted it. There are a lot of programs around America that are struggling to
Right.
build their programs back up, because during
True.
COVID you really couldn't do that. Like, you couldn't play because of the particles and stuff. And so it's hard right now because it is another burden for the music educators, but there are music educators around who are devoted and
Mhm.
committed to music education because they know the importance of it. And so that's why I say it depends.
I get you. I get you. So, how do you think it will evolve?
The question is, will it evolve?
But it has. If you okay, let's go back and
Oh,
think back.
evolve. Okay. I was thinking evolve in the right direction, but you're just saying evolve, period.
Evolve. Period. It's gonna evolve. But it's
It's
just a
going to
matter of
evolve.
what will it evolve into.
Exactly. That, I mean, the hope that I have is that there are so many artists. Like, there are so many artists that I see on social media that don't don't get the shine or the attention that they fully deserve with the quality that they're given.
Mhm.
But because I see so many, it does give me hope. It gives me hope. It
Right.
does. It
It
does
does.
give me hope. Um
So, when are you gonna step from behind that camera and go ahead and be that hope someone else needs to be see? When are you going to
Whoa.
when are
Whoa.
you going to advocate and speak for you, ma'am? Uh,
You know, um, that's a great question. That is a great question. I I will speak for me personally. I have never been I felt like I've never been like a writer or a person who just makes the music per
okay.
se.
Okay.
Now, can I say that I could possibly evolve into it? Yes, maybe. I think so. I think I could. But I'm just like, right now, it would be like, how some people it just oozes out of them. Like, it's not something that they have to
Right.
fight for, or
Right.
it
It
just
just
comes
comes
out.
naturally. Yeah.
That hasn't happened to me yet. Now,
You know
again,
why? You know why it hasn't happened?
why?
Because you won't let it happen. You won't allow it to happen.
Why not? No, no, no.
Exactly. You tell us why. Because whether you can or whether you can't, you are right.
Yeah, no, listen. I've tried. Like, there are things that um I've sat there, play on the piano and melodies come or whatever it is. But I think that there are certain seasons for stuff. And so I just think it just hasn't came
Right.
to me
So,
yet.
but still, whether you can or whether you can't,
I
you are
am right.
right. You
Right.
are right. It's
Yeah.
on you. And
Yeah.
I see that energy, that light is there. And when you're ready to release it, you will.
Yeah. 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 So it's just not the time right now. And I
Man.
think more so like I
But can I
the
point out
whole-
to you something real fast?
what?
It's not that you said it's not the time right now, but it is the time because now you're letting individuals know that DeAndre West can go. She can blow. She has vocal cords out there. She has a whole she has the ability to entertain you and encapsulate you with her voice.
Yes. But there is a difference between a performer
True.
and an artist.
There
Like,
is.
there are a lot of people who can sing and
But they can't
you
perform.
know, yeah, and they can perform and stuff like that, but it takes a specific gift and a specific creativity, like, to be able to create, you know? And
So
so, I know we may disagree to disagree,
mhm.
but it's just, I think that maybe life experiences or just getting into that vein or whatever it is. I don't know. But I just know it ain't there yet. I ain't saying that it ain't gonna come eventually. I'm not. I'm not gonna say that because, like I said, like there are like melodies and stuff that I, come up with or record or little stuff, but it's not to where it's just kind of like I can sit down and be like, oh, okay, like this where like a lyricist and the music, like it's not, it's not connected right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that that is some. I think it's something that could possibly be in the future, but for right now, for some reason, I can't, whatever. But
Hey, there you go. Whether you can or whether you can't, you
yeah,
are
yeah. So
you
that's where
control you.
I am. And then like I do perform. I actually perform a lot. Um a couple years
So you
ago,
can.
yeah. That's performing though.
Yeah.
I perform.
Okay. I'm looking forward to see when the next show is. Tell me when the show is.
Well, I right now my schedule won't allow me to do what I was doing when I was full blown teaching. But I did do the color purple and theater making. That was very, very cool. I got a chance to meet Fantasia because
Okay.
they were um filming the color purple in Macon
Mhm. Right.
while we were doing the so we went on set, got a chance to meet her and stuff. It was cool. I was Celie in the color purple. So
No.
yeah. So that was very, very cool. Like
I
very,
live
very
in jail. Damn near right to death.
It was so amazing. We sold out every night. Before we
Yeah.
even got to the show, we had sold out every night for the 2 week run. We actually had add some more shows
And
to
that's
it.
all.
And that was the first time that had ever happened in that at that theater. So that was the coolest experience ever. And that was actually my first musical theater that I
Mm.
ever did. So that was cool.
Okay, so can you share an example where music helped you express something that you couldn't put into words?
All the time. Anything that I sing. Um, if I am feeling a certain type of way,
Mhm.
and sometimes we're not able to necessarily express it, but there may be a song that comes to my mind, and then I just start singing it. And
Mm.
in that moment, it's like, oh, that's what it is. So the music, the song, I was able to vocalize the song I was feeling before my mind even knew.
Mhm.
Like it was able to grasp the song, pick up the song from my memory, and I began to sing it, which vocalized exactly how I felt before I even realized it. So yeah,
Okay. So
yes.
let everybody know where they can find you at, Miss DeAndre West, because we want to keep you blessed, booked, and busy in 2025. So let
Yes.
everybody know where they can find you at on your socials and social medias and
All right, guys. Hello. You can find me on Instagram at official Miss West, official Miss dot West. You can find me on Facebook at the Andrea West and TikTok at Dee Dee West 4, I think.
well, we gonna make sure of that, folks. So y'all see it, you gonna see it on your screen. Just go ahead and click to it and subscribe, like, share. Let's help this queen out, you know what I mean? Because we trying to be the best versions of us in 2025. We know not the days that we have, but we know what we can do if we put our mind to it. So you already know what I say when I leave the porch. Be where you at while you there, because you can't be nowhere else. Until we see you next time. Peace.
Bang Your Head Studios.